Caseus. Ashes of the Order. Chapter 13. On top of the Jedi Temple, Caseus sat, watching the clouds in the sky as the horizon turned from a crystal blue sapphire to a deep golden. This was his favorite time of day. Don't worry, R3. She'll be up here soon. You know how much of a perfectionist Master Dralik can be. Got room for one more? Caseus turned around smiling as Sarah walked over and sat next to him, patting R3 as the astromech beeped happily. Took you long enough. Shut up. You'd be late too after a 20-minute lecture from Dralik. Only 20 minutes this time? You really are improving. Sarah smirked and lightly punched Caseus in the shoulder as they looked out over the Coruscant skyline. Have you heard from Corbin yet? He sent me a transmission this morning. Tensions are heating up in the mid-rem. He and Master Terran are stationed out there with their troops in case it gets messy. I hope he's doing all right. Please. Corbin can take care of himself. With him out there, I'm more worried about the battle droids. Sarah chuckled and rested her head on Caseus' shoulder as he held onto her hand. I'm just glad you haven't been called out in a little while. It's nice to have you here. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Caseus was suddenly lurched from his dream as the nebulous came to a complete stop. Regaining his composure, Caseus looked over at the cockpit. Pip! Why are we stopping? We can't be there yet. Rather than hearing the squeaky voice of his first mate, Caseus heard only silence, accompanied by the occasional beeps of the navigation system. Pip? Standing up, Caseus went to the cockpit and saw that Pip was nowhere to be seen. As he checked the navigation system, Caseus saw that they weren't appearing anywhere on the map, and the system couldn't make heads or tails of their exact coordinates. Master? Liara stepped out of her room, rubbing her eyes. Are we there already? Caseus looked at the computer confused and tried entering every reset code he could. Nothing. Pip? Liara looked around for the little droid and was just as confused as Caseus when she realized he was nowhere on board. Caseus, what's going on? I'm not sure. All navigation systems are down. We're definitely not flying, though. Come on. Liara followed Caseus as they stepped off the ramp of the nebulous and walked outside. The air was hot and dry. A deep red glow from the sunset shone all around them. Surrounding them were tall rock canyons, and beneath their feet, nothing but sand and stone. Where are we? Master, I have a very bad feeling about this. Maybe we should wait on the ship. It's okay. Follow me. Stay close. Liara walked beside her master as they slowly began walking through the canyon. Caseus didn't like the energy this place gave off. It was cold, dead, unwelcoming. It was the exact opposite of how the Jedi Temple made him feel. There he felt safe, at peace. This place, it made him feel like an intruder, like unsuspecting prey wandering into a den of wolves. I don't like this place. Me neither. But Pip might be out here somewhere. We can't leave without him. Soon, they came to the end of the canyon, red sunlight obscuring their vision, until they came to the edge of a tall hill. Putting his hand over his eyes, Caseus' vision cleared. What he saw made his stomach churn. Large, decimated temples, surrounded on all sides by crumbling statues lying in ruin all around. Desolate structures once carved with majestic artistry into the rocks, now left to fade to time. Liara's eyes grew wide. I saw this in a dream. Master, what is this place? Caseus closed his eyes. He knew exactly where they were. All his time studying in the archives as a boy. Of all the places he never wished to see in the galaxy, this realm of evil was at the top of the list. Korriban, the ancient world of the Sith. Liara's skin crawled. Thousands of years ago, Korriban was a sacred world to the early Sith Lords. With their power, along with the strong dark side presence of the planet, they became gods amongst their followers. Terrible, but powerful. As is the nature of the Sith, they quarreled amongst each other, blinded by their lust for control, each trying to surpass one another. After years of war and fighting amongst themselves and the Jedi, Korriban became what you see now. A burial ground for hundreds of Sith Lords. This place is strong with the dark side.
Why would Pip take us to this place?
I don't think he did. Follow me.
Wait, where are we going?
We need to find out why we're here. And there's only one way to do that. Stay with me. Don't wander. Liara hesitated, but followed her master down the hill as they carefully strode through the cursed valley. All around them, it was as if the stone faces of these ancient Sith were watching them, eyeing their every movement. Caseus tried to ignore his fear, but inside he was shaking. He was in unholy territory for his kind. Closing his eyes, he reached out with the Force. Darkness clouded his mind, but he felt himself being drawn forward, towards a large structure built into the side of the valley wall. Why in there?
Master?
Stay with me. Come on. Caseus and Liara inched closer to the ancient doorway. Above them, the visage of a terrifying being with a horned helm carved from stone. Stay here. I'm going to check and see if it's safe. Caseus slowly crept into the cavern. No sooner did he enter than a massive pillar broke free, separating master and student. Liara began to panic.
Master!
Liara, calm down. Don't touch anything. This could be a trap. Listen. Stay right outside. If you see or hear anything, call out to me and I'll find you. Do you understand?
Okay. Please hurry.
Caseus turned away from the entrance, not wanting to leave his student alone in a place like this. But he needed answers. Slowly, he walked forward, deep into the ancient halls of the structure. He soon came upon two massive doors, illuminated by some unseen light. Using the Force, Caseus pushed them open and stepped inside. That's when he realized. This was a tomb. At the center of the enormous room, a crypt, no doubt containing what remained of the inhabitant. Above it, a statue of an ancient Sith, the same one he had seen outside. Carefully, he stepped closer, his footsteps echoing off the stone walls. Then, he felt nauseous, as he heard a voice call out from nowhere.
Who enters the realm of the Forsaken?
Caseus froze in fear.
A Jedi.
From the tomb arose an amorphous shape, like water flowing from a stream. It took the form of a glowing pale ghost, its head adorned with two large horns. The eyes, a lifeless black void of nothing. This is impossible. The spirit floated closer to him.
It was most unwise of you to come here. Korriban is forbidden to your kind.
It wasn't my choice to be here. What evil is this?
Do you know to whom you you speak?
Caseus stared in fear at the monstrous form of the ancient Sith. You're a Sith.
I am Marker Ragnos. Once the most feared and respected of all the Sith Lords. Now reduced to mere memory. Shackled to this tomb. Forever cursed to gaze upon what I can no longer claim. Such is the burden of immortality.
Caseus had only ever heard vague tales of Ragnos, an ancient Dark Lord of the Sith from thousands of years past. Why am I here? Why have I been summoned to this vile realm?
You believe that you are here by accident. No, there are no accidents. The Force wills that you stand before me today.
Don't speak to me of the will of the Force, monster. I have no desire to listen to what lies you would tell me.
Indeed. Then I shall offer counsel instead. That girl is dangerous.
Caseus clenched his fists. You will not speak of her. You know nothing of her heart.
As her power grows, and the years strengthen her, your power weakens, and time will wither your strength, as it did mine. She will be your downfall, if you continue down this path.
You speak of her like she's one of your kind. She's not. Liara is a Jedi. She doesn't desire power to dominate the way the Sith do. Only to protect those she cares about. Ragnos floated around Caseus and smiled.
It is not the nature of the Jedi or the Sith alone. It is the nature of all living beings to seek power. And to achieve it by any means necessary.
I know what you would have me believe. You intend to sow doubt in my heart. To make me doubt my apprentice. Never. As long as there is life in my body, Liara will never be like you. I'll see to that myself. The dark side nearly took me years ago. I won't let her go down that path.
If you choose not to heed my warning, your fate has already been sealed. But know this, young Jedi. As long as she is your apprentice, she will crave the role of master. And one can only withstand so much temptation before they break.
Caseus shut his eyes in anger. The words spilling from this dead spirit filled his heart with disgust. You're nothing but a cursed memory from years long past. And your words are poison. You chose a path of power and evil. She won't.
Then be gone from my domain. When the end comes, betrayal will be your demise.
Caseus watched as the spirit of Ragnos faded. Outside, Liara stood by the pillar in fear. She wanted to get out of this place. Until she heard a voice, whispering in the back of her head. Faint. Almost unintelligible. But she was drawn to it. Her mind began to go foggy, as she fell into a trance. Slowly, the voice guided her away from the tomb of Ragnos, and towards a tall pyramid-shaped structure in the heart of the valley. Her eyes glazed over as she walked up the steps and towards the archway. Ahead of her, a cavern of darkness, ancient voices whispering her name, beckoning her to come closer. Back at the tomb of Ragnos, Caseus reached the entrance, still blocked by the pillar. "Liara?" He heard nothing outside but the gusts of wind. "Liara! Liara!" Using the force, Caseus shoved the pillar away from the entrance and ran outside, looking all around for his student. Then, as he gazed over the hill, he saw her, entering the ancient structure in front of her. "Liara!" Caseus ran as fast as he could. He had to get to her and get them off of this forsaken planet. Liara stepped inside and found herself walking towards what appeared to be an ancient shrine, with the faces of Sith long dead carved into the stone base. Stepping closer, Liara could hear the whispers getting louder and louder until they became deafening cries. Sitting on the shrine in front of her, a small, glowing crystal, shimmering with a deep amethyst color. It called to her. The call felt comforting, as though a beautiful voice sang to her in tongues she never knew existed. Slowly, she reached for it. "Liara, no!" Just as Liara's fingertips touched the crystal, the room was illuminated in a bright white glow. It blinded them with its brilliance as the sounds of millions of voices all cried out, and then there was nothing.
"Captain?"
Cassius' eyes shot open as he panicked.
Whoa, easy there. We're here.
Cassius looked around. They were back on the Nebulous. Outside the viewport, Cassius saw the floating Scandrea station, orbiting Pakuni. What happened?
You and Liara slept for hours. I knew you two were tired, but man, you were out like a light.
Cassius got up and ran to Liara's room, where she sat on her bed, sweat dripping down her face as Cassius ran over to her. Liara, are you all right? Liara looked at him in fear.
What was that? Caseus, what was that?
Cassius didn't know how to respond to her. He had no clue what happened. If it was a dream, a vision, or what. All he could do was hold her, as he comforted her. Liara tightly gripped her master, still hearing the terrible voices echoing through her mind.